Canvassers.
Touch that mic, just tap it.
What's that?
Tap the mic.
Is that okay? No. What's that? Testing. Jill, can you hear me? No.
Yeah, I don't think
What does that mean?
you just have to hear the YouTube, they'll have to hear it off the mic.
Okay. All right, we are going to call the meeting to order. Thank you all for coming. Canvassers. Everyone is checked in with the canvassers. We do have a quorum. If everyone could please remember to turn off your cell phones. And if you would like to speak, we need you to come up to the center mic here. You can form a line. So if someone is speaking and you would like to speak afterwards, you may stand behind them, not too close, but that'll make things a little quicker. Any voter shall have the right to be heard, and no vote shall be taken until all persons who desire to be heard on the subject of the vote have been heard. All questions and statements shall be directed through the moderator, and no person shall be heard until recognized by the moderator. No person will be recognized by the moderator until they're at the microphone. The moderator will limit the voter to one opportunity to speak on any motion or amendment and limit the time to speak to 2 minutes. There shall be a main motion and a second motion on each question presented prior to any discussion or any other motions. One amendment at a time shall be permitted to any main motion. No further amendment shall be entertained until disposal of the pending amendment. If an amendment is adopted, then the main motion amended and further amendments to the motion as amended shall be in order. If there are none, then a vote shall be taken on the main motion as amended. The vote shall be taken in a voice vote, standing vote, or ballot as determined by the moderator, provided that the vote must be taken by ballot if a voter shall call for the same, and the call shall be supported by 1/5 of the voters present. Motions for a paper ballot may be made at any time up until the vote is called for. Each one of you received a couple of different ballots in different colors. Prior to any paper ballot, the canvassers will announce which color you're to use for that vote. The conduct of the meeting is governed by the laws of the state of Rhode Island and the town of New Shoreham. Robert's Rules of Orders are used as a guide. All questions shall be decided by the majority of the voters present. Are there any questions before proceeding? A motion would be in order to waive the reading of the warrant in its entirety. Second, all in favor? I'm gonna read the return of service. Sorry. State of Rhode Island, Washington County, town of New Shoreham. In New Shoreham on the 22nd day of April 2022, I have notified and warned the electors of said town of New Shoreham of the time when and place where the special financial town meeting is to be holden and of the business to be transacted therein by posting written notifications of said meeting in the following public places in New Shoreham to wit: one at Town Hall, one at the Town Island Free Library, one at the New Shoreham Police Department, Tom Durden, Town Sergeant.
No way.
I want to thank everyone for attending. And I'd like to introduce the table. We have our town solicitor, Stephen Marola, town manager, Mary Ann Crawford, finance director, Amy Land, town clerk, Millie McGinnis, assistant moderator, Doug Michelle, moderator, Molly O'Neill, our town council, Mark Ball, Andre Boudreau, Mark Emanuel, Spin Reason, and Keith Stover. Return, by the town clerk of the town of New Shoreham, Rhode Island, to the town sergeant of the town of New Shoreham, for any councils in the town, pursuant to chapter 3 of title 45, you are hereby required to post at least 7 days before the second day of May, AD 2022, written notification in 3 or more public places in the said town of New Shoreham, Rhode Island, notifying and warning the electors of the town of New Shoreham qualified to vote on any proposition to impose a tax or for the expenditure of money to assemble a town meeting at the Rock Island School in the central part of the town of New Shoreham on Monday, the 2nd of May, AD 2022 at 7 p.m. for the purpose of ordering a tax to be levied and assessed on the rateable property of the town and the inhabitants thereof for the payment of the town tax and interest for the payment of the town's portion of the state tax, for the support of schools, for the support and maintenance of the poor, for the building, repairing, and amending of highways, for the building, repairing, and amending of bridges, for the improvement of, in any manner, the extent of any property belonging to the town, for all necessary charges and expenses whatsoever arising from the town, whether incidental or not to the above. Also, to consider the following. We'll turn the floor over to Assistant Moderator Doug Michelle for the next item.
Thank you, Molly. Thank you for being here tonight. The first item, motion would be in order to approve, to authorize the town treasurer of such town, pursuant to Rhode Island General Law, Chapter 45-12-2, with the consent and approval of the town council to issue a refund from time to time, bonds, notes, or other evidences of indebtedness in an amount not to exceed $10,400,000 in order to finance additions, renovations, improvements, alterations, and repairs to schools and school facilities in the town. The terms and conditions of such bonds, notes, or other evidences of indebtedness to be set by a resolution of the town council or by the town treasurer and the first warden in the absence of such resolution. Or any alternative to finance such amounts from reserve as determined by the town treasurer with the consent and approval of the town council. Will make a motion. Bill, the motion is a second. Second. Now on the floor. I invite the superintendent of schools to discuss this item.
Yeah, he can take it out.
And thank you to the community for allowing me to speak on behalf of Block Island School. I'm a relatively new superintendent of Block Island School, started in September. And while I thought I knew how beautiful Block Island was, I didn't realize that the spirit of Block Island was. I'm really excited to be part of the community. And being relatively new, I'm going to share some information on this flyer that we got. I don't know if you'd like to pull that out. Because I wasn't here for some of the timeline. So if you look at the side of the picture on it, you'll see the timeline of facility activities. You see that the state actually did a Jacob report on all of the schools in the state of Rhode Island, and they came up with what they felt were the most important needs of each school. Various projects were done between 2017 and 2019. But a significant amount of work was identified in 2019 and 2020. And as a result, a school building committee was put together, and RIDE submission to stage 1 was delivered to RIDE in 2021. And on February 15th, the stage 2 submission was submitted. So we're in the middle of the process of submitting RIDE reimbursement. which brings us to the reimbursement rate. You can see the four major activities there that we plan on setting to ride for reimbursement. And the standard reimbursement is 35%. However, if you address health and safety deficiencies, there are bonuses of another 5%, and educational enhancements would make another 5% bonus. So as long as we follow the rules and RIDE approves this, we are entitled to a 45% reimbursement. But we have to follow the rules, we have to get all the approvals, and we're in the middle of that. So that's what we're in the process of doing. If we flip the page over, there's a little bit more detail, and I'm embarrassed to say there's a paragraph there. Always, right? So under total project cost, you'll notice where educational enhancements are, it should be $514,500. So write that in, you'll have the right number. And you'll see a bunch of bulleted explanations. I'm going to go off the top rather than read, but it's been exterior resurfacing. Clearly a need, as you can see, the leaks that what they've done to the installation. And you can see pools, absorbing pools that absorb the water when it comes in. In fact, even it wasn't even a hard rain, if you do a little drip, it was quiet, nobody was. When it's a hard rain, sometimes if you see like recycling over there, those are used to capture some of the water that's coming through the walls. And if the sun is right, you can look where the steel meets the cement, the cinder blocks there, and you can see cracks through the wall. So the exterior really needs to be resurfaced, and this is a shelter. It's a very important building. Community building, by the way. The whole building serves the community. This serves the community in a good way. So it's very important for that work to get done. What we found out with the educational enhancements was that there was an opportunity to gain the extra 5%, and so it made sense for us to do that. And those spaces have had some long-standing issues that a lot of people talk to me about and say, "Oh, Bob, we've had water in the basement for 90 years. And how are you going to fix it?" In fact, we had an open house the other night. So people said, how are you going to guarantee you're going to fix it? Well, our architects have done this work. They're reliable architects. They've worked on a lot of projects now. They believe that there's new technology that they will be able to fix the problem, and we see the need to fix the problem. So that's just one of the examples of the educational enhancements. But they will improve the academic opportunities for our students and our staff. So it's really important that we do those educational enhancements. And then replacing the HVAC system is a necessity. We need to keep them in. And fortunately, we were able to get through this winter. We did have some emergency funding, so we are going to replace the boilers that were there. But we need to tie the whole system in and make sure it's done. So that's another need as part of this project. And some of the plumbing and utility shutoffs, those are things that were identified as not necessities, but they do need to get done eventually. So that's why they were the last to report improvements that we needed. And they also bring us up to standard. Some of the plumbing fixtures, some of the toilets, when we flush, we waste a lot of water. We don't want to waste water, we serve water. So replacing those toilets is kind of important. And shut off valves inside. So all of those, that's a brief explanation on the projects. And again, I talked about it earlier, but the financial support from Rhode Island Department of Education School Building Authority, what they do is they would reimburse the town. And as we currently do, all of our reimbursements would go directly to the town as a revenue under school housing lead. And then the town can use that help pay to make the payments on the bond. And hopefully, as I said earlier, the minimum we would get is 35%. And we're hoping that we follow the rules, we get all the improvements from RIDE, that we can get 45% reimbursement. So I think that covers the basics of it. The other thing is you did see a lot of people seeing all of the schematics and all the drawings outside that we put out there that our architects did for us. I don't know if you have any questions about this project, but we do feel that strongly that it's a project that we hope to do. Questions or discussion, please? Nancy Greenway.
Thank you. I'm sorry about that. Usually I've been on the other side of things, but today I have some questions. And I also wanted to thank everybody who's here, because I've been beginning to worry about democracy. And maybe some of you have too. We need to speak up, we need to be here, we need to ask questions, and you guys are, thank you. All right, so first of all, I'd like to know when this gym was opened. What year?
Lucky our school board, community chairperson is here, so. Yeah, 2006.
Okay, and I don't know, but maybe others do, what the expected life of the gymnasium is. So that's one concern. Related to that concern is not just getting the money to build something, but to maintain it. And what are we going to do to make sure that there is a project manager or clerk of the works to make sure things are done properly, and that after the fact of construction, if that goes forward, the building is taken care of. I see in what I have read from the school committee and what you said tonight, that exterior work is planned. Well, I can see that interior work is needed as well. Is that one also covered?
So the exterior and interior will be part of that project. My understanding is that there will be panels that will be put in solid home floor panels that will move here, just like that back wall where all those panels are. This interior will all look like that back wall. That's one question answered. The second question was, how are we going to maintain it? And so I can't speak to the past, but I can tell you that during my time here, I've been very impressed with the town administrator and her staff. They've been super supportive of all of our needs, and we've gotten a lot done. I know we didn't get this done, but that's being done by volunteers temporarily. We're going to do a little bit of patchwork for that. The school team, I mentioned that, but they'd like to see that too. But I also am very impressed with our town manager and with her staff, because they do have addressed a lot of issues.
Do that. I would say about the classroom in the basement area, I taught in that classroom one time. And at least 3 times, money from the town has been allocated to repair that room. Again, I think the people had best of intentions. I think some of the people who worked on it were skilled. I don't want to spend $10.X million and have to come back. Last, I just want to say that a building is very important, and the health of the building for the health of the kids. But what's even more important is what you teach and who teaches it. And I hope that some study has gone into what the school committee and the parents and the kids of this community need and will want going forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nancy. Anyone else, comments or questions? Yeah.
all of these questions I actually did. If we get 45%, will it apply to the whole amount or just the subset that he that we missed? What is the process that we use?
That's still part of the last process. We submitted a submission to back in the action questions. What we took out. So it's still in that process.
Process is prior, focus on stage one, stage four is the last, what is it, for the speed of the project. As we go through that, and submit those final documentation to the project, and we have requires to ensure that they have the, how's that, so that, to ensure that we have complied with the health and safety and the revenue educational needs. At that point, we will know if they will sign for on the 45% reimbursement. So it's towards the end of the project.
So we will start on.
When we see it, when we get to that point,
Can you hear me now? Yes. Bring it up. How's that? So how's that? Is that good? Okay, so let me talk a little bit here. Folks here said tobacco said again. What happens with RIDE is a four-stage process, stage 1, 2, 3, 4. Stage 1 done, have stage 2 done. You hope that it will combine common. And then stage 3 is the documentation to work with the RIDE is done. Final stage 4 is when you see the room. Or you submit the documentation. Also, however, we will know whether or not we continue documentation for specification for the management, which why has to approve. We will ensure that we are making sure that our steps and procedures to maximize the investment. To answer the question regarding project management, any project over $1.5 million project. So this project will have a project management. And it is included in the 2021. Okay, so as I understand it, we will not go to get the 4.5% until after the project is essentially done. And they're agreeing to make their criteria, and therefore you get it. You won't go beforehand. You have to spend the money first. Project, you go through the process of spending the funds, and then once you submit documentation and reimbursement. So with that said, you will have the right. You have a number of meetings with the client as you go through the construction project. You are very closely with the architect and your OPM to be sure you're on. Will we be guaranteed with 35%, or is that dependent on how we complete it? 35% is in the round general ones. That's the minimum reimbursement that we can get, and we are guaranteed the 35%. at this point, unless they change the state statute, but the state statute has been like this one. My other question is just kind of do with the budgeting process, because as I understand it, these numbers are your best guess. There are no actual bids or information on supply chain issues that we've had last year. And I've been through a number of school renovation projects as well. And they almost are coming back and asking for more money, which you're essentially not a hostage to do because you're 3/4 or halfway through the project. And you don't want to throw that much away. Can you speak to this budget and contingencies and how realistic we are to hit this number?
On this flyer, it does show the actual construction, I'm sorry, on the flyer, it does show the actual construction cost. And then it says the total project cost. The difference is about 20%, and that 20% are the contingencies and the costs. Contingencies are going in there, so that it's quite inflation. It's really what we're saying. In addition, the construction costs do include the block item factor. In fact, the architects have very hard with that. Real. And so they asked us for other invoices to ride that. Yes, you get part, you get charged vacation costs, there's a lot of other costs, housing costs for workers, so that is built into the construction cost. So, and we can think, what the economy is going to do, inflation rate, we can't, but those factors that we have to get.
You get a complete set of bid awards before you start.
Process, yes.
So before you start, you're gonna know if this number is gonna be hit. These projects are required for us to bid, but then you go to bid, for a whole, we'll probably be close to bid on it, and hopefully we'll get multiple bids. I should know this, but what was the last major town project? And we tell us what the overage was on that. What is the percentage that contingency given to bid? We're just looking for a ballpark. And I can't even remember what the last time could have been. Thank you.
We're working.
Any other questions or discussion or anything you put out here, the range you need? Questions, discussion, yeah.
I just wanted to speak to some of these questions. From what I understand, especially the the under educational enhancements, there's quite a few things that fall into that category that also cover constructive maintenance that needs to
happen. For example, like the maker's room and the black box theater, these are things that sound like huge additions to the school. But in reality, under those enhancements to make that room thrive, they're gonna like take space and do all these things that haven't been done before. We just, you know, hundreds of years ago. To make that dry, water safe, they're gonna run water away from the building. So it comes under the maker's room, or it comes under, you know, the black box theater, something that sounds like a fancy traditional school, but really it's gonna cover a lot of major improvements that the school needs for a really long time. So there's a lot of wiggle room in that 428,000 in terms of where, how it can be allotted under educational enhancement, but also benefiting the actual building more long term. That makes sense.
Any other questions? Not all. I'll keep the motion. Motion on the floor to authorize the town clerk of said town person to act general law, chapter 45 and 12. And approve the town council. Not to exceed $10 million. Authorization for schools and school facilities. Bond, vote, and other entities to be set by the residents by the town treasurer and report in the absence of such resolution. Or the alternative to finance such amount from reserve as determined by the town treasurer. And the consent of the town council. Those in favor, please raise your hand. Those opposed? Motion carries. I'll turn it back to Molly.
In order to authorize the town treasurer and the said town pursuant to Maryland General Law, Chapter 45-12-2, with the consent and approval of the town council to, and I apologize, I'm reading the wrong. Let me start over. A motion is in order to authorize the town treasurer of said town pursuant to Rhode Island General Law 45-12-2, with the consent and approval of the town council to issue and refund from time to time bonds, notes, and other evidence of indebtedness in an amount not to exceed $2 million in order to finance capital improvements at the New Shoreham Sewer District. The terms and conditions of such bonds, notes, or other evidence of indebtedness to be set by a resolution of the town council or by the town treasurer and the first warden in the absence of such a resolution. And expenditure, I'm sorry, that's, is there a motion? And second. Is there any discussion? Any questions?
So what this $2 million, sorry, $2 million for is the flushing system and sewer infrastructure. Illegal, and there's a number of cracks in the piping from filtration of water, which means that water being treated in the sewer treatment plant, which increases the cost to operate the sewer treatment plant. What they do with this fund, these funds, is when the first thing they'll do is buy a little TV or a big infrastructure in the collection system and determine where those particular pipes and constructions clear. And a lot will be done via slip line, which is process where you slip line of a pipe instead of digging around or replacing a pipe. Slip lining is something that has been universal and been and has proven to be very successful with a really extended lifetime. So
So what's before you this evening is a bond issue up to an amount to exceed $2 million for that project. And we do anticipate, when the USD will come for that, with the reimbursement cost of grant cost of approximately 45% of that project. Repeat it. It's, okay, I'm sorry. It's, this project is funded or will be paid by the regions. However, we need to approve
Are there any questions or comments? Seeing none, we have a motion on the floor and a second to approve $2 million to finance the capital improvements to the New Sharon Sewer District. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes. I'm going to turn the floor back over to Debbie Shaw.
Can you hear me all right back? Motion be in order to receive and act upon the town treasurer's report for the receipts and expenditures of the town for fiscal year 2022. Moved and seconded. Amy Land, Steve. Finance Director.
Thank you. On page 46 of the packets, you will find the treasurer's report, which is the standard report of town's general fund through March 31st of this current year. Again, at page 46, you'll see total revenues year to date, $13,266,189, over expenditures of $10,508,888. In general, it's been a good year so far overall. We can see that both revenues and expenses are generally in line with historical trends. And it's really a story for the rest of the year of managing expenses to that budgeted level. I will note that when you're looking at the prior year comparisons, fiscal year 2021 was very strong in some revenue categories. But otherwise, we're tracking the 2 years very well. And we expect to finish the year strong, to be adding to our reserves. And then the other thing I would note would be that very bottom line, page 46, other financing sources, uses, and issuances, is a little bit of a which is how we said that now we have two issuances this year. $1 million related to broadband and then combination of overlook, the fire position, and some learning opportunity, all which have been previously executed. But that financing throws are operating at the operating. So that we can compare our tools for the current year. Any questions?
Questions or discussion? I'll call for the motion. To receive and act upon the town treasurer's report and receipts and expenditures of said town for the fiscal year 2022. Where's your pleasure? All those in favor? Those opposed? Motion passed. Motion to be in order to receive and act upon the superintendent's report for the school district for fiscal year 2022. Moved in. Seconded. Any questions or comments? There are none. I'll call for the motion to receive and act upon the superintendent's report for the school district for fiscal year 2022. Those in favor, please raise your hand. Those opposed? Motion carries. Motion be in order to receive and act upon the medical center report by Washington Health Services for calendar year 2021. Moved and seconded. Any questions or comments? If there are none, I'll call for the vote to receive and act upon the medical center report by Bloodhound Health Services for the calendar year 2021. Those in favor, please raise your hand. Those opposed? Motion carries. Motion be in order to receive and act upon the Bloodhound Housing Board report for the fiscal year 2022. Moved in, seconded. Any questions or comments? If there are none, I'll call the motion to receive and act upon the Bloodhound Housing Board report for the fiscal year 2022. Those in favor, please raise your hand. Those opposed? Motion carries. Motion be in order to receive and act upon the Bloodhound Land Trust report for fiscal year 2022. Moved and seconded. Questions or comments? David Lewis?
Howard? Two questions, if I may. I'm gonna turn my hearing aid down now. Two questions, if I may. On the very last page of the land trust report, which is the last page in the packet, there is a balance sheet as of July 1st, 2012. And I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with that. I assume nothing. And if that's correct, I'll move on to the second question.
Yes, we apologize for the two typos. March, July 2021, and July 2022.
So I think my next question has a little more meat to it, because it's more substantive. So one of the things, I think the key fact for me of this report this year in the current climate we're in, there's nothing on this report that identifies the land trust total indebtedness over the life of the remaining life of the farms. For example, so it's quite easy to understand that the overlook indebtedness, which is in the very first part of this payment, is essentially the land trust committed to that in the manner in which we all voted last year. This obvious is what the total remaining indebtedness is on the 20-year note, or the whatever was bonded in 2012. There's still another 10 years beyond. And we can't tell from here, other than what we don't pay for the next 3 years in principal and interest, what the total indebtedness is on that bond. I think that's some information going forward, so the public can understand that a lot of the land trust assets that represent the need to protect against, to protect for the ability to pay years going forward, and then still may drop off. So if there's an answer for that available easily tonight, it would be appreciated. If not, just open for the answer to the specific need.
So the 2012 was issued as a remaining.
That's the balance, not the cumulative interest, right? Yes, that's what I was asking for. And what about the other? The other one is the number in full. All right, understood. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments on the land trust report? are none, I'll call for the vote to receive and act upon the Block Island Land Trust report for fiscal year 2022. Those in favor, please raise your hand. Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
We could begin the annual operating budget. I just want to explain it. I can see who got there looking to use page numbers. So there are many documents in this one box. So you're looking at the page numbers in the upper corner. Each document within here is enumerated with its own numbers. It's a little confusing. So what I am going to be using begins on page 42. I'm going to go to administration. So, sorry about that. Page 26. This is what I'm using, and you may think there is a sort of an anecdotal packet in there as well that just gives you information about each department. Certainly refer to that, but this is what I'm looking at in case anyone's confused about just straight up numbers. By all means, tell me if you have any questions at any point in time. Great, a motion would be in order to approve the budget for administration in the amount of $1,567,052. Do we have a second? Are there any questions or comments on the administration budget? One moment, before you speak, I'm going to have Mary Ann speak on this.
So good evening. Welcome to the annual town meeting. I started as your town manager about 18 months ago and continue to find this island very welcoming and helpful. Many of you, I have noticed, not only still on one or two, but upwards of 3 boards and committees. I thank you for your dedication. The island has volunteerism in its blood. I have often said and still maintain that local government is here to have the greatest impact. This evening, you will have the opportunity to discuss and vote on the town budget effective July 1st, 2022, that is designed to meet the town's many challenges, As we wrap up fiscal 2022, our second year of COVID, I was hopeful that this year would be starting at what we would call a new back to normal chapter, with fully staffed in person, in office, and services. Unfortunately, we continue to live with COVID, and the community we find we must continue to juggle. I think we've all learned to manage effectively and responsibly in the last couple of years. The fiscal 22 budget continues to implement the positive changes in the direction of town government and infrastructure improvement for the town of East Lyme. That began a little over a year ago in fiscal 2022. In fiscal 2022, the town transitioned to a cloud-based backup from a magnetic tape backup. Numerous technology upgrades in town department, even for West Beach Road, the improvements for the south side of the library, isn't just to name a few. We anticipated by mid-May that town council chambers would be outfitted with new state-of-the-art audio-visual equipment, affording the community enhanced access to government, especially if broadband is on the horizon. However, due to supply chain issues, this project has been temporarily delayed until 18 months. We've seen a few
One includes someone who's sitting at the table, is Millie, who is now new town clerk. And of course, we thank the number of years Molly put here as town clerk. The new department head that hired has helped organize the structure to take form for the town of New Strong. The new department directors have embraced their new roles and have been instrumental in developing the budget and managing their teams to be effective. The town continues to work on how to provide the best services for year-round residents and the many tens of thousands of visitors we have from us. Included in the fiscal 2023 budget, you'll see a human service director, a part-time librarian focusing on young adult services, and a human resource director. All three positions will begin in the second half of the fiscal year. We are very excited about these additions and having these folks join our team. With several changes in staffing and department heads, you will see line item salary budgets with increases and decreases. Most of these increases are due to catching up with salaries. In addition, I am pleased to report we have a tentative agreement with Council 94, which represents most of our town and school employees. We are still in negotiations with our police department officers, or as we call IPPO. The budget proposed will continue to meet the current infrastructure needs of the island, while providing more original initiatives in the area of public safety, education, infrastructure repairs, and scheduling maintenance, as well as support for a number of our community services, such as the volunteer fire department, the early learning center, and the medical center. As with all budgets, we cannot include a number of budget request increase in the proposed fiscal 2023 budget. Even though we cannot fulfill all requests, I maintain this budget will continue to provide the needed service while making critical investments to allow us to plan for long term. We will continue to search for federal funds for major capital improvements. The proposed capital budget this year is $17,147,431, a 3.5 increase from last year. The proposed tax levy is 6.2. As a reminder, under the Rhode Island General Law, the town can only levy by 4%. About 4% requires approval from the state, including a permanent vote of profits of full council and the majority of the electors present and voting at this meeting this evening. I can tell you we have received approval from the state as well. At this point, I would like to thank all our department heads for their effort in working together as a management team to present a budget that will continue to provide the level of service the town requires, given its continuing growth. I would also like to thank the town council for the many weeks of public meetings that have gone late into the night and the time that they have invested in the process of examining the details leading to this project. Their willingness to listen to every resident, concern, or question object is refreshed. Finally, this year's budget presentation is somewhat different than what we've seen in recent years. The presentation of the budget easier to follow and read. And I thank Amy Lynn for all her help with this new presentation and the budgeting process.
Thank you, Maria. Jim, do you have from the administration budget?
Thank you. Jim, or I just have a couple of questions. What is going to be redundant? And that will be many departments will go through where the department head is proposed increase more than 3.5% to 4%. I'd like to understand why. It could be a variety of reasons, but that would just be a general thing on every department. It appeared to range from behind a little over 13% to a low of maybe 2.3%. So I'd like to sort of understand what you're looking for. I'll be happy to get up every time that comes up, but I'd rather not. So that's why. So I'm assuming that this director of human resources
near and dear to my heart, and my background. I assume that at 13.5, that's very much a part-time position, correct? Right, 18.6.
So as I stated, that position will start in January of this year. We started as early as March. Based on the numbers. So it starts in March, it's going to 3 months of the year, and then next year.
So my question is that,
It is a full-time position.
challenge as to whether it's necessary. Discussions that I haven't had yet, but we try.
So, did you have a question? If you could, use them, please.
How do you get the difference between fiscal year budget 2022, very dear management to human services? 15,000 for dear management, 1,500 for human services. I guess I don't have a question. I think it's kind of transparent.
Just to make sure everyone's clear on what's transparent, I want to describe that human services line a little bit, the line 8,300, which in the current year, fiscal year 22, has a budget of 1,500. That's a supply line related to the functions of the human services position. So that's not, I want to be clear, that's not a salary or a wage line. That's just for incidental supplies to facilitate those operations.
Can you direct me to where I could find the thing you just discussed with you?
Or if you're on page 26 of your packet. And you're looking towards the bottom of the page, line 5108 is going to be the wages coordinator of human services. That's going to have some evolution between fiscal year 22 and 23. The position that Mr. Hinthorn was referring to is the next line down, that's 5109. And that's a human resources director. That's anticipated to be a new position in fiscal year 23.
Much better, thank you. Are there any other questions? Yes.
Well, not so much a question, but just an observation. The administration section of the budget, including the legal expenditures, by the way, in 2007, in the Ethics Council, which included Ray Torrey, Peter Gotti, Tim Hunt, and myself, selected Catherine Morello and Steve Morello as our attorneys. And over a number of years, I believe they served us very, very well. We've been very fortunate to have them on our side. I know particularly Catherine put in long hours, exhibited exceptional professionalism, effectiveness, with litigation that included school renovation. Let's be careful with that. Town hall renovation involved litigation, the transfer station contract, and of course the DIPCO conversion, among others. As I said, over the years, having worked so closely, especially with Catherine, we very much appreciate, I think the town should appreciate all the work that she's done for the town. I certainly wish her well and Steve well, and I'm sure that the town will make a good decision going forward as we move on. If they live up to the bar that was set by this former firm, that we're going quite well. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Kristen Bauman. I'm a resident of High Street, and I'm the
library director for the ISD library. And, you know, when I speak tonight, if you can't distinguish between which one of those people I am, either can I, that's okay. I come to grow into both of those roles, and those are the hats that I wear. You will see me voting no tonight on a number of the budgets. This budget does not reflect my values, my goals, or my dreams for Block Island. I want to share with you one specific, and it's what Jim and George just asked, and I know who we've got an answer to. But there are varying percent increases in salary lines. And because I am a library director here and I participated in the budget process, I asked that question and was told answers. And frankly, those answers don't sit well with me, and I don't see them as fair, and they're obviously not transparent if you're still not getting an answer. So I will be voting no on a number of occasions. But I do want to say something positive, and I wanted to thank the council, as they did not get a percentage increase, and I appreciate that, that effort towards the budget. And I also want to be very grateful for the classification and comp study that is budgeted for 50,000, as it is so needed for this town. And I am grateful that that is included. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone else in the audience have any questions or comments on the budget for administration? Seeing none, we have a motion and a second on the floor to approve the budget for administration in the amount of $1,567,052. All in favor, by show of hands? Any opposed? Motion passes. We're moving to page 28 in your doc. A motion is in order to approve the budget for the finance department in the amount of $464,338. We have the, Amy will speak first, and then if you have any questions, please go.
I don't have any material comments on finance. Obviously, there's a significant reduction year over year. That's really driven by revaluation in the current year, which we're actually deferring, but we'll be holding the funds that are running 22 over to 2023 as that project is executed. But it's not something we have to be budgeted for in 23. So that's the majority of the change there.
Are there any other questions or comments on the, yes, move forward?
So, yeah, I do have to say, regarding the question, I'm looking for an answer this time. There's gonna be some rationale for the head of the department.
So some department increases that you see as I stated somewhere in push up, where it came for enough funds in the fiscal year 2022. We've also had some change in some department heads. So department heads been high, pay scale. And that's some also, we want to know in the union and this person allows.
We have department heads in the union.
Yes. And this budget allows us the opportunity to implement something that would come in the negotiation for as well as public.
Well, I guess I'm just gonna, I can understand if there was compensation indeed, and that it is $50,000 that's budgeted. You know, that would be the first thing you would do, and then you would make adjustments based on a competitive marketplace. So, I mean, I agree with this, but I look at these increases, and I'm shaking my head because some cases the same people are in the same jobs, and it just isn't adding up to it.
Thank you. Are there any other questions or comments on the finance budget? Seeing none, there's a motion and a second on the floor to approve the finance budget in the amount of $464,338. All in favor? Any opposed? The motion carries. We're on page 29 now. Motion is in order to approve the budget for central dispatch in the amount of $342,090.
Just two things that I would identify here on page 29. First is a little bit of a name change. The central dispatch, if you recall, that is historically been called fire rescue and emergency management, which has led to a lot of confusion over the years about whether it involves the actual volunteer fire department, which it does not. So we made that adjustment to Department 30. And then in terms of the aggregate budget, we actually see a small reduction from the prior year. Over the last several years in dispatch, there have been some personnel changes, and those seem to have settled out into a much more stable arrangement, and this reflects the current personnel that are in their positions.
Does anyone else in the audience have any questions or comments about the budget for central dispatch? Seeing none, motion has been made and seconded to approve the budget for central dispatch in the amount of $342,090. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is page 30. A motion would be in order to approve the budget for the police department in the amount of $1,312,720. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions, comments? Amy has something to say.
Sure, just a brief introduction. There are obviously some new lines being introduced here and some shifts in the total budget. And it really reflects some of the changes in staffing and in operations that we've talked about as a community over the last few years, so during the budget process. What this currently calls for are 4 year-round reserve officers to complement our 4 current year-round officers, as well as adequate staffing for the summer season as well. And you can see those called out slightly differently in the line items as that staffing program solidifies. You also see some increases in some of the operational lines, particularly related to technology and implementing more technology-based initiatives in the department.
Any questions or comments from the audience? Seeing none, there is a motion and a second on the floor to approve the police budget in the amount of $1,312,720. All in favor? Thank you. Any opposed? This motion carries. I'm on page 31. Motion is in order. To approve the budget for public works in the amount of $1,206,748.
Just I want to call your attention to 3 lines that we did not talk about under administration, but they really moved from administration over to public works. That's the wages for the director of public works, for the facilities manager, and then for our consultant engineer. So those budget items have been carried over from the department administration and now more appropriately within public works. The other item that's a little bit anomalous is the maintenance landfill slope. And when that project was done at West Beach, we did talk about the fact that that would be a more environmental maintenance, in terms of upkeep, particularly on the shoreline side. And so what you're seeing now is ramping up that initiative, particularly in 23, looking at, some heavy rocks on the northern edge, which is a little more expensive, I would say, than what we were looking at initially, but should not have to be what we did on an annual basis. Animal costs are still closer to 20,000. And then, reinstating some of the dollars that were historically in the facilities maintenance line, $7,400. That's a line that has fluctuated over the years. Our target now initially is $75,000. It has been reduced to $50,000 in 22, and we're moving it back up to $65,000 in 23. And we're to continue to move that funding level higher so that we can continue to secure some of the facilities as time goes.
Yes.
I guess our question is really for Amy. If we take out the few positions that are being moved from the administration to public works, what would be the total increase? The bottom line on this page says we have 21.6%. If we take out those numbers, those positions, look at what everything else in the part, what would that increase that be?
If you're looking at an 8.9%.
8.9. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions on the public works budget or comments? Seeing none, there's a motion and a second on the floor to approve the public works budget, the amount of $1,206,748. All in favor, please raise your hands. Any opposed, please raise your hand. Thank you, the motion carries. The next budget, boards and commissions, on my page 37. The motion would be in order to approve the budget of the board. Oh, yeah. So sorry. Right. Page 32 comes after page 31. Page 32. A motion would be in order to approve the budget in the Harbors Department in the amount of $681,289. Right. Please can speak first, and then if you have a question, please move forward.
The two items I would probably do in the harbors, the first is line 72, you can see these pieces there. And that's really reflecting the trend that's been going on in terms of source of business over the last few years. You can see the actual in 2021 and then 2022 really driving those numbers well. And then the second, you're going to see in the other departments, enough of the seasonal wages or just other, where particularly in harbors and recreation, we've needed to increase their seasonal rates in order to be competitive and continue to attract rates for those seasonal positions as well.
Does anyone have any questions on the budget for the Harbors Department? Seeing There's a motion and a second on the floor to approve the budget for the Harbors Department in the amount of $681,281. All in favor, please raise your hands. Thank you. Any opposed, please raise your hand. Thank you. This motion carries. Next up, on page 33, the motion will be in order to approve the budget of the building department in the amount of $231,260.
With respect to the program currently in place for operations in the building department, we will maintain it through fiscal year 23. The town has an outside firm. Residential, commercial, in terms of the inspection function. The other element that I would note is the zone enforcement responsibility, which has been moved out of building official over to the department that we call boards and commissions. And that's really a function that's been assigned to the use administrative officer. So those would be added.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments on this budget? Seeing none, the motion is in order to approve the budget for the building official in the amount of $231,260. All in favor, please raise your names. Thank you. Any opposed, please raise your hand. Thank you. This budget passes. A motion will be in order to approve the budget for the recreation department in the amount of $420,894.
I don't have any comments on recreation except to say that this is the budget that restores or anticipates restoring most of the pre-COVID programming that has been either modified or put on hold for the last few years. So that is really an prospect. And there is a planned reduction in high-field maintenance that can deliver on is increased for fiscal year 22 and is not necessary for execution in 20.
Are there any questions or comments on this budget? Seeing none, a motion and a second has been made to approve the recreation budget in the amount of $420,894. All in favor, please raise your hands. Thank you. Any opposed, please raise your hands. Thank you. This motion passes. Next, page 35, a motion would be in order to approve the library budget in the amount of $584,517.
As was discussed earlier, this library budget does contemplate the addition of a part-time position to start in the second half of the year, and this would be focused on young adult services.
Does anyone have any questions or comments on the library budget? Listen.
We're very grateful to have the position put in. I was told, I should be happy about the budget, we got our position. But really, I hope you're all happy about that. That's a team services position. And we really hope to do a lot of great work with the teams in the future. We have a really great foundation to do that. So I am happy about it, but mostly I hope all the parents are happy about it. And I would say that part of my issues with this budget, you don't see the requested, but we asked for a $3,000 increase in books, and we're denied that. So out of the $17 million budget, they couldn't find $3,000 for books for the library. So that again does not fit well with me.
Are there any comments or questions from the floor on the library budget? Seeing none, there's a motion and a second on the floor to approve the library budget in the amount of $584,517. All in favor, please raise your hands. Thank you. Any opposed, please raise your hands. Thank you, the motion passes. Okay, the next, is page 36, the budget for GIS and technology. The motion is in order to approve the budget for $320,574. Thank you.
Under technology program, we have really been under, I would say between 2021 and the 23 budget. You can see it's reduced from fiscal year 22 by over $100,000, which is manageable during that transition as some of the priorities are realigned and the workflow managed differently. I think the expectation and I hope would be that the town is continuing to invest in improving this technology and therefore in future years that funding will be restored to these levels.
Do we have any other questions from the floor regarding the budget for GIS technology? Seeing none, motion has been made and seconded to approve the budget in the amount of $320,574. All in favor, please raise your hands. Thank you. Any opposed, please raise your hand. Thank you. The budget passes. Next up, boards and commissions. Motion is in order to approve the budget for boards and commissions in the amount of $217,520. Thank you.
I mean, the only comment is a reiteration of that change in some of the enforcement function, which means over added to the line 57.1 with the land use administration officer.
Thank you. Are there any other questions or comments regarding this budget? Seeing none, motion and a second have been made to approve the budget for boards and commissions in the amount of $217,520. All in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you. Any opposed? Thank you. The motion passes. Motion is in order to approve the budget with community support in the amount of $866,204.
I won't go into too much detail because we do have some of the supporting requests for the community support organizations. It's fair to say that throughout the public hearing process, obviously there was a lot of back and forth with our needs and funding challenges, and so this is probably the best effort that everyone could put forward. But obviously, in some instances, doesn't meet everyone's needs. I think if there are specific questions, we can probably find representatives from the different organizations. But
Any comments or questions on the budget for community support? Seeing none, we have a motion in the second on the floor. Yes, I'm so sorry.
I do hope that, I asked for this in the budget session, and so I'm gonna ask the public,
to hold our team up here accountable. Gateway Mental Health Services have been coming to the island every other week. They are giving free counseling sessions, they are drop-in session, they have helped a number of people, and without a doubt, they have saved lives. I hope we support them next year in those efforts. And I'm going to repeat that, without a doubt, they have saved lives of people that live in our community. So I hope we support that next year, as well as the domestic violence center. You know, we all know that that happens here as well as anywhere else. And again, I think we should be supporting these organizations. They're helping members of our community. And I'm the vice president of Miami Block Island, and I want you to know that even though we're not asking for money this year, it doesn't mean that we're not doing work. We have projects, and we have goals, and we have plans. What the zero funding here means is that we just don't need money from the town this year. Those things. Thank you.
Well, Gabby, yeah, I did bring this up another time, meetings, of course, COVID came, that we ready to do things, because I'm still after that swimming pool. So, I think that's good mental health, I think it's good for the elderly, I think it's good for the young people, I think we need a place that has a swimming pool, you're right. Yes. Mhm.
No, I live on, and that was 6 months ago, my wife died. 4 of us was really, I want to thank everyone on Broad Island, every police department, the medical center, the emergency people, even Mike Shea. You know, the whole thing, all the people that stepped up. Anybody who has a death on the island doesn't know, or those some people know, how much it helps just to have people around you safe and guide you through a process that you don't want to go through, that you didn't ask for, but that you have to do. And everybody across the board was one. So I guess I'm the community support, I certainly support.
Thank you, Carol. Are there any other questions or comments on community support? A motion has been made and seconded, to approve this budget in the amount of $866,204. All in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you. Any opposed, please raise your hand. Thank you. This motion carries. A motion would be in order to approve the school support in the amount of $5,372,797. Thank you. Are there any questions or comments on this category? Not seeing any. Motion has been made and seconded to approve the school support line in the amount of $5,372,797. All in favor, please raise your hands. Thank you. Any opposed, please raise your hand. Thank you. Motion carries. Next on page 40 is the budget for capital tax. The motion would be in order to approve the budget for capital tax in the amount of $512,500. Thank you.
And I will go through the budget, but I apologize unless people have specific questions, but I will also call your attention to the 6-year capital plan, which is on pages 42 and 45 of your packets. And obviously fiscal year 23 is the first year of that 6-year plan, that continues to be reviewed, prior to the budget process, so that it can be put into it. So that will continue to evolve that plan over time, and be incorporated in the next year's budget as well.
Thank you. Are there any questions on this budget? Okay. Motion is made and seconded to approve the budget for capital tax in the amount of $512,500. All in favor, please raise your hands. Thank you. Any opposed, please raise your hand. Motion carries. Motion would be in order to approve the budget for debt service in the amount of $3,046,831. Second. Thank you.
And when you're looking at the debt service page, there are some technical aspects that I want to make sure that everyone is aware of. We had a number of bonds coming off in fiscal year 22, primarily related to the Howard acquisition and then the acquisition of the Tom's property and the moderate school construction bonds. We had a number of maturities. We also, as I mentioned earlier, had a number of issuances. That 8.4 million, which represents the overlook for the town portion and the first portion, which is for separately. The $2 million of road and bridge work that's been completed, and then $1.3 million for acquisition of the new fire truck, which is currently being built. So you see there's new issuances coming on and then old ones coming off. The net increase of the debt service, $294,576. And this is a permitted exception for the town to receive a 4.0% increase in the tax code. So the town has sought and has been granted from part of the administration an exemption to go over the top from $237,115 related to this net increase in debt service. As Maria said, that requires the Department of Administration approval, town council approval, and approval of the voters for it. So technically, that mechanism is the authorization of the tax regulation, which we do just after approval of the budget. Here now, that's something that we follow the process. That for this debt service requires that we go above the 5 by that amount. Questions?
Okay. Okay, are there any questions on debt service? Seeing none, a motion has been made and seconded to approve the budget debt service for $3,046,839. All in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you. Any opposed? Thank you. Motion carries. And the floor over to President Trump.
Next order of business is to read and act upon the resolution for allowing the law to report on 5.8 concerning the levy of taxes. Resolved, that the elected of the county store are qualified to vote on any propositions for closure tax over the expenditure of money not meeting the minimum sum. That the assessment and collection of tax be made on the regular real estate and tangible personal property of the town for the fiscal year between July 1, 2020 through June 30, 2023, in the sum of up to $12,094,031. Said tax for expenses and charges of the sinking fund. The payment of interest and credit from whole or part of the fund is authorized by law. That said tax includes $237,017 in excess of 4% property tax authorized by Rhode Island General Law 44. and certified by Rhode Island Division of Municipal Finance to support the Rhode Island General Law for tax project to the three. The tax assessment will assess and enforce said tax on the inhabitants and the property of said town as of the 31st day of December 2021, midnight, according to law, and shall, on completion of the assessment, state and certify and sign the name delivered from deposit the same in the office of the town clerk. On receipt of said assessment, shall forthwith with a copy of the same delivered to the town treasurer. Who shall forthwith issue a said copy of warrant under her hand, directed to the collector of taxes of said town, commanding her to proceed and collect said tax of the person or estate liable therefore. Said tax shall be due and payable on and between the 15th day of August 2022 and the 31st day of August 2022. And all taxes remaining unpaid and said last named day shall carry until collected or penalty at a rate up to 18% per annum upon such unpaid tax. And or said tax may be paid in quarterly installments. The first installment is 25% on or before the 15th day of August 2022. Remaining installments as follows: 25% on the 15th day of November 2022, 25% on the 15th day of February 2023, 25% on the 15th day of May 2023. The first installment or any succeeding installment taxes is not paid by the end of the grace period established for each quarterly installment. Said grace period and dates during the term established of August 31st, 2022, November 30th, 2022, February 28th, 2023, and May 31st, 2022, respectively. They shall carry until collected a penalty at the rate of 18% per annum, including the grace period, provided, however, any property tax due in the amount not in excess of $100 to be paid in full between the 15th of August and 31st day of August, 2022, and the quarterly installment provisions herein before permitted shall not apply. To be it further resolved that the collector of taxes shall collect and pay into the tax treasury of the same collection. The tax estate order is a two copies of the resolution to be passed by voters to the election of the town report and financial company May 2nd, 2022. Motion is I have a motion to proceed. Moved in. Any questions or comments? I will not read it again. Those in favor, please raise your hand. Those opposed? Thank you for your time. Rebecca Law.
Thank you. The order to authorize the town treasurer motion would be in order to authorize the town treasurer, so sorry, there's so many things the same. With consent and approval of the town council by resolution to borrow from time to time in anticipation of taxes, such sum or sums of money as shall be necessary for the payment of the current liabilities and expenses of the town, and to issue the negotiable promissory note or notes of the town therefore. The total amount of notes issued shall not exceed the limits prescribed by the section 45-12-4 of the general laws as amended. Sums so borrowed during the current fiscal year commencing July 1st, 2021 and ending June 30th, 2022 shall be borrowed in anticipation of taxes assessed as of December 31st, 2020, and sums so borrowed during the subsequent fiscal year but prior to the next annual financial town meeting shall be borrowed in anticipation of taxes assessed as of December 31st, 2020. The notes issued pursuant to this authority shall be signed by the town treasurer and countersigned by the first warden of the town council. And such counter signature shall be conclusive evidence to all holders of such notes of the consent and approval of the town council to loan evidence thereby. All terms and conditions of such notes and the methods of sale are not fixed herein or by provisions of law may be fixed by the town council or by the town council. The town treasurer is hereby authorized with the consent and approval of the town council to renew such notes from time to time. But any such renewal note shall not be due later than 1 year from the date of the original notes so renewed. We have, a motion. Thank you. All in favor? Thanks. Any opposed? Thank you. A motion would be in order to authorize the town treasurer of said town with the consent and approval of the town council to place investments as deemed proper and to open or close bank accounts as necessary for the general fund, enterprise funds, and proprietary funds of said town, consistent with any investment policy adopted by the town. Is there a motion? Thank you. Thank you. Any questions, comments? All in favor? Thank you. Any opposed? A motion would be in order to authorize the town treasurer of said town with the consent and approval of the town council to issue refunding bonds in order to refund all or part of any public improvement or general obligation bonds that would result in savings to the town. Length of term of said bonds to be the minimum required, the same or lesser in time, duration, the terms, details, and conditions of such bonds to be set by a resolution of the town council. Is there a motion? Thank you. All in favor? Thank you. Any opposed? Motion would be in order to authorize the town treasurer with the consent and approval of the town council by resolution and the board of sewer commissioners pursuant to Rhode Island General Law 45-12-4.3 to issue notice in anticipation of sewer service charges, such sum or sums of money to an amount which, together with any money borrowed in anticipation of such revenues in any prior fiscal year that remains unpaid, shall not exceed in aggregate 80% of the total amount of those revenues due or expected to be received during the fiscal year, as estimated by the town treasurer, or $400 million, whichever is less. 400,000, sorry. 400,000 seems really high, whichever is less. Such funds shall be used for the payment of the current liabilities and expenses of the sewer commission for the cost of repairing and operation of such sewage disposal system. Negotiable notes issued pursuant to the authority hereof shall be signed by the town treasurer and countersigned by the first warden of the town council and the chairman of the board of board of sewer commissioners. The loan or loans evidence thereby. All the conditions of said note or notes and the method of sale thereof not fixed herein or by provisions of law may be fixed by the town council, and if not so fixed, then by the town treasurer. The town treasurer is hereby authorized and empowered with the consent and approval of the town council and the board of sewer commissioners to renew any such notes from time to time, provided that the period from the date of an original note to maturity of any note issued to renew the same debt shall not exceed 1 year. Is there a motion? Thank you. Second. Thank you. All in favor? Thanks. Any opposed? Thank you. I'm going to turn this back over to Devin Shaw.
Motion being in order to authorize the town treasurer with consent and approval of the town council resolution. Pursuant to Rhode Island General Law 45-12-4.3, which we note in anticipation of water service charges, such sum or sums of money for an amount which, together with any money in anticipation of the prior fiscal year remains unpaid, do not exceed an 8% of the total amount of those revenues due or expected to be received in the fiscal year is estimated by the town treasurer of $200,000. Such funds shall be used for payment of the current liability and expenses for the cost of repair and operation of such water treatment system. Notice for notice is the person to the authority hereof shall be signed by the town treasurer, and countersigned by the first word of the town council, or his own evidence thereby. All the conditions of said note and note and the method of sale thereof not fixed herein, or by conditions of law may be fixed by the town council, and if not so, then fixed by the town treasurer. The town treasurer is hereby authorized and empowered with consent and approval of the town council to renew any such note from time to time, provided that the period from the date of the original note and the maturity of any note issued to renew the same debt cannot exceed 1 year. Move in. Second. Questions, comments? Those in favor, please raise your hand. Those opposed? Motion passes. Thank you all. Back to Howard.
The motion would be in order to authorize the town council pursuant to Rhode Island General Law 20-3-7 to enact such ordinances as they may think proper to protect and regulate the taking of shellfish and other fish in the Great Salt Pond, and to impose penalties therefore not exceeding $200 and 3 months imprisonment for any one offense. Thank you. Any comments? All in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you. Any opposed? The motion would be in order to ratify and confirm the actions of the town council in authorizing over expenditures of certain appropriations which were due to circumstances that could not be anticipated in budget preparations for fiscal year 2022, provided that the over expenditures do not exceed the total budget amount for fiscal year 2022. Motion. Any comments? All in favor? Thank you. Any opposed? Before I wrap up, I want to first thank everyone here for coming. Well, I still have your attention. Thank you all for coming. And just remind you that if you're able to help hold up chairs before you leave, that would be terrific. I also want to thank the Board of Canvassers, the town sergeant, the town clerk, and Amy and Miriam for all their preparation for this meeting today. A motion would be in order to authorize the town council of the town of New Shoreham to extend grant funds applied for and reported to the town of New Shoreham, and to the extent grant proceeds from grants exceed the amount budgeted by the town, to authorize the town treasurer with the advice and consent of the town council to expend these excess proceeds for the purposes designated in the grant. Thank you. Any questions? All in favor, please raise your hands. Thank you. Any opposed? And for all other purposes authorized by law, and to transact such other businesses may legally come before the meeting. Here I feel not, but have you here this warrant at this time and place aforesaid with returns hereon given under my hand this 22nd day of April, AD 2022, at the town of New Shoreham, Rhode Island, attest Millicent McGinnis, town clerk. And thank you all for coming. Thank you. All in favor? Okay.